Hey guys, and welcome back to Making Spirituality Real with Jade. So today I wanted to talk briefly about my experience that I have had so far on my channel, as I'm approaching a 2-year milestone of having started my own independent business, and the conclusions that I have come to today, having observed my own journey after this time. I know that many of you also have your own businesses in your own fields. This may be technically a spiritual channel, but the reality is that I devote all of my time to my project, so it is actually my own private business. And no matter what field you guys are in, I'm sure that many of you can relate to that experience. So I would like to tell you here about some obstacles that I've had, and some obstacles that I think you also might encounter, as well as tell you what I have come to a conclusion is the best remedy to those obstacles. So to keep it short and simple, the key to keeping your own individual business running well is to remember the reason why you started in the first place and keep the passion of the business alive. Like I said, it's been almost 2 years since I got my degree and quit regular jobs and stopped the work-study flow of my life that I have had up until 2 years ago for a good 10 years. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I really wanted the work that I do to matter. I didn't want to continue the cycle of mindless, draining labor. I wanted to do something that would make a difference and contribution to others, not perform a job where everyone is easily replaceable soon by machines, right now still by other employees. And I had an idea, I had a vision, I had things that mattered to me that I wanted to give to you guys, that I wanted to give to the world. But as years passed, I was completely new to YouTube. I'm still not an expert, merely also because technicalities like editing are not really my hobby or my strong suit. It's something that I had to learn to keep my work going, but this is not my passion. The passion for me is in the content, the idea and the creative part. So I had to learn those things. I had to get into the technicalities of YouTube. I had to get into how long should a video be, how should it be structured, how should I speak, how should I present myself, how should I edit, how should I post, how should I then promote my content so that the world even finds out that I exist. And because I tend to be very hard on myself when it comes to my work, somewhere in the process I noticed that I started to become the very prison that I try to escape, because the reason why I would even quit the traditional working world is the feeling of oppression and the feeling that you are not allowed to perform at work in your highest authenticity. But the thing is that doing the things you're doing as your business, as your passion project, it should give you some sort of pleasure. That doesn't mean that you won't have to put in effort, but effort feels right when there is passion behind it. And whenever you feel directionless and you feel like the passion is not there, that might just be a sign that you have been pushing yourself too hard and driving yourself to the ground. I know I am guilty of that, which is why I'm saying this to you guys, so that you can also learn from this experience. I notice this especially because I'm also currently working on a few creative projects that I will post, I don't know when, but sometime soon. And especially in those kind of projects, it's so important to be patient with oneself and allow the whole process to unfold. And yet I found myself creating imaginary deadlines that do not exist. Because my channel is still too small for anyone to expect anything, A, B, even if it was bigger, it is still perfectly okay to take time to oneself, and anyone who subscribes to anyone usually gets that. Sometimes some people take a break for the whole year even though they have a large audience due to personal reasons, and that's okay. And even though I still don't even have this pressure formally yet, I was already putting it on myself, expecting myself to rush, to hurry, to fulfill some imaginary standards that only exist in my head at the end of the day. And I noticed how I have forgotten that the reason why I started is because I love expressing myself creatively, because I am passionate about spirituality, about astrology, about tarot, about being able to free people from the oppression of their own minds, about being able to give themselves the ultimate truth of themselves and help them align themselves with it. This is something that I care about in my life daily. It's something that I wanted to do always, and that I keep doing. My advice to you would be is that if you started your business out of your own passionate efforts, remember not to turn it into a chore. Remember that this should be pleasurable and exciting, and you should like at least some elements of your work, even if not all of it. Like I said, for example, for myself, I am not a fan of editing, but I like the fact that I have the opportunity to communicate and speak with you guys and express myself. So there's always going to be some part of your work, no matter what you do, that you're not going to like also, for example, for me, that is self-promotion. I detest it. Yet I logically realize that if I do not do it, no one is even going to discover the existence of my message in the first place. So I have to put myself out there, push myself out there, so that those who can benefit from my content can even find me. And so I guess that I really wanted you guys to remember that this can really be a deadly trap that can suck out the joy of anything good that you have in your life if you become your own prisoner, if you become your own jailer, if you become your own worst nightmare. The truth is that when you work by yourself on your own, there is no one really checking in on you, so you have the freedom to do whatever you want. So why not do what feels good, right? This is the point of life. The point of this life is to feel good as much as possible. It's not going to be possible 100% of the time, but still we should aim for higher numbers here, right? As high as possible. I realize also that when you are really passionate about a goal and then you encounter some obstacles in your project, in your work, then it can feel discouraging and demotivating. And especially if it takes extra efforts to overcome those obstacles, it can feel draining and discouraging. But even those obstacles should not deter you from the goal, from the path, from the understanding that you chose this because you wanted this. And because this is something that you love. It comes from a place of love towards the universe, your life, and yourself. And this takes different forms, like someone can be a scientist and this is what makes them feel love towards the universe in their own logical way. Or like me, you can be more interested in the spiritual field. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, what matters is that you have to remember that you cannot turn this calling, this sacred mission that you have, into an unpleasant duty. That's why it's also so important not to rush it, because if you keep seeing yourself feeling really drained and demotivated, just take a day off, take a week off, take a month off if you need to, until you feel that spark to continue with your work again. And if something is your life mission, you do not have to worry, because no matter what, it's always going to come back. One beautiful thing about your life calling is that you cannot escape from it, because it will keep calling to you and it will keep reappearing in your life. It will keep manifesting as this uncontrollable urge that you can never truly quite erase from your life. So there is no worry about having to grasp it so tight as not to lose it. And this is something that I also struggle myself with, because I'm not a very fun person. I don't really care about looking for fun. I just care about doing what's important, doing what matters. And I'm pretty structured. But because of how structured I am, I also know the downsides of being able to suck the fun, the joy out of every experience that you have. I think it's natural that it can happen to anyone, because when the daily grind sets in and there are all those small little technical tasks that you need to fulfill to achieve your bigger mission, you really can forget that the mission and the passion was there in the first place. But it's really important to come back into alignment with yourself regularly, because the thing is that it's going to have a practical reflection in your efforts, in the results of your work. If the passion that is in your project, it's going to look lifeless, and people can see that. Passion is what sells the best. Genuine commitment towards something is what sells the best, actually, and it produces the best results. So not only it is emotionally the best solution, but also it is so practically. I honestly filmed this video completely spontaneously. I just really felt the urge to share this after I have come to this place of realization myself today. And I decided that instead of just keeping it close somewhere in my mind, I might as well share it with you guys and spread the efforts of my own meditations and reflections to those of you who may be in a similar situation. So remember, keep the passion alive, keep the joy alive, keep the spark alive, and take a break if you need to. which was the most hypocritical piece of advice I have possibly ever given on this channel, and for that you have to excuse me, but you know what they say, those who can do teach. Not just kidding, but exactly because I am teaching myself, I know also how to teach it to others, right? Okay, so thank you so much guys for watching this video. I'm going to link you to all of my playlists down below where you can find tarot picker cards, astrology videos, together with my main playlist that's called Peace of Mind. And you can also book a private reading with me because I'm an astrologer and tarot reader. And you can find all my social media and all my contact info down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you guys, bye!